Yeah, I'm trying to debug for the for loop. Numbers having the 5 length with these values 10, 9, 9. Then I'm going to looping these numbers with the 5 length. So you can see the output of I, how it is going to, right? The first one is I equal to 0 initialized, and see this execution format and see what is the I value here, 0. Number of I is 10. So it is going to, first loop is coming up, done, and second time also it is go, because the length is up to this less than length level, it will work. If once the up to this length less than length level is less false, then the loop is exist out of this loop. So I can just keep this loop out here and see that how many times it will going to loop through. Okay, 5 times. 5 times the loop is gone, done, and we can see this output. 5 times it is updated. Okay, same way, just out and see the result as a 10, 9. This is the for loop we generally uses for the length of how much of length it is there array. We can display with the help of for loop. And inside, if you want to do any calculate any modifications, if while if I equal to 0, then that time I want to print some different naming sections here. Value of I is like, if other cases, a value is greater than 1, this kind of statement, simple statements, if we want to execute, so how it will work inside the loop also, we can try to use the if else conditions, whatever the condition, if else condition, again we can use the for loop conditions, our expecting our environment, then we can utilize that and see that result sets also. So I'm trying to execute again. See this, 0 value of I is 1. Why I value is 1? Because I value is 0. That's the reason it is going to the first if condition. So execute the next time. What is the second time error is 1, I value is greater than 1. Right. So this is the statement is executed, second statement. Though all the else cases will execute this second statement only. Okay. All the executed statements are, the second statement is going to execute it. So important one, for loop is regularly utilizing our coding part, and this the loops we definitely utilize in our programming things. So in upcoming programs, most of the cases we utilize this for loop and while loop and if else clauses and do while loop and all. So that's the reason I'm stressing you people use most of the time this one. And also I'm just adding one more as a uh, for each for each loop also we regularly utilizing into the. Okay, see, right now I'm going to explain about the for each loop. Already explained for loop, why it is for each loop is required here. So people are will get the confusion. Already for loop is there, Why it is for each loop is required? Yeah, plenty kind of differences is there. Two things are will usage for use case is same, but when coming to the performance wise and some more advantages for each loop and for loop. So I'm trying to explain why we utilize this for each and for loops. Actually, the loops are flexible if we use it to variety of iterations. What are the scenarios, especially when using to iterate our collection, array, specific index, specific current location. These cases, we utilize this for loop. Because if we trying to use this index format, something cases also, the code is being executed with for loop. And we have a plenty of example already I showed in the for loop how it will work. But coming to in the for each loop, it is iterated through all elements. There is no we can't stop that this length like we can here we can stop with 3 4 like that, but here we can't stop because we just giving seven numbers will loop through, and each number will be declared here and will work and showing here. There is no modification we can't do, like we can't stop also. All the numbers will execute and showing here. So that is the biggest difference with for each loop. But we can utilize this our coding environment according to the requirement, because the for each loop is performance less. There is no much conditions. Directly it is initialize the variable data types and directly we can assign the collection here. So that's the similar way of kind of example. We just ran through it, and completely for each loop is also printed out the all the numbers in this format. Here, the exception is coming here, index bound of exception. We can see here. These kind of errors we can capture through our try catch block. Why it is getting, and what is the index out of error like this. Just see this. I is a 10 value because here I is there is no 10 value here. That is the reason it is throwing exception. What is the because here I'm trying to giving the index value here. That's the reason the exception is throwing here. So I would like to stop the debugging and change the format of equal work and I value directly we can print because there is no number. I will print it out the values in between the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Directly it come here. So you can see this output now. You can see 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. But in the for loop is a different. For loop, while only index I value is 0, 2, 1, 3 value is coming, but in our for each loop, directly numbers with values is coming. The I is the variable, the I value, the numbers is the array. Inside the array values will be assigned to I value, and directly it is coming with the line number 32. The right console line is printed the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The values in between these values is showing here. That is the difference in between the for each and for loop. Do you have any questions on these loops? Please ask and no questions. Can I move forward?
Yeah, Hiram.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it is not possible to implement the uh, case statement in for each.
Yes, the possibilities are there different. Right now, I'm just giving the if else statement, right? In this
Okay.
for each also we can do this if else conditions and while loop everything. But the thing is,
Mhm.
we can't get this like this way. Integer I equal to 0. The length,
Mhm.
number of length is we can define right in the for loop. But in the for each loop, we are not defined that length right here. That
Okay.
is the biggest difference in between these two. We are
Mhm.
not defining the length here. How many numbers length is directly, it is running through loop. We can't define, okay, 6 numbers, only 3 numbers can run it. Only However, the numbers are there, it is running. But inside that, whatever you want to do here, if else logic and while logic and switch cases, everything will do here as well. Same way.
Yeah, in for loop, I in above I need only 8 and 7. It is possible.
8 and 7, you mean I
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, it's possible. You can do whatever the things. Do this logic for 8 and only you want to print 8 and 7, right?
yeah, yeah. At that
So
time, index is to starting index
you
is
know
two.
that
Right?
index 8 and 7. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's that based on that index length, you can see only a numbers of 8 and 7. Uh, Not like that. If suppose I number of I equal to 8, then you can print. Or already told you, right? This ones like I equal to 7, then print these values here.
Okay.
Remaining cases you don't want to print. Okay,
Mhm.
let's see what is the executed statement will give that. You can see
Yeah.
8 and 7 only came, right?
Yes.
Other
Yes.
values are not came. So that's
Yeah.
the way you can execute the your logic inside that for loop. So many examples are there. You just people should practice for loop. Otherwise, when any interview, definitely they will ask this kind of questions: sorting and prime numbers program and
Mhm.
jumbling program, like that. So for loop is the main key role, playing a key role for this kind of things. Just keep practicing on this for loop, then definitely you will get most of the ideas. Okay?
Yeah. Another doubt, please.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, if
please.
I put in place of I plus plus, if I put I minus minus, what are the values it is coming?
Yeah, if you can place the I minus minus, then
Yeah.
it will goes to the minus length, like negative way. Like it is then it already is 0, right? It should
Yeah.
not executed for the next length, next sequence. We can see what is the example as. So as you do that, see that if suppose it will execute it or not. Okay, the first time
Okay.
it is got executed, and second time, see, exception is coming here, right? Because the I value is -1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I value is -1. But here in the -1, there is no position with this -1. The
Mhm.
always array will started with positive numbers 0,
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but there is no -1. That is the reason the exception is came here. It is showing the exception out of the index was outside the bounds of the array. Okay,
Okay.
that is
Mhm.
the
If
reason it should. Yeah,
yeah, if in our array we have minus value at that time it is working, right?
yeah, it should work. You suppose in our array we have a minus value, or else your thing is I value will be the 6. Okay,
Mhm.
so we can try now what is the value, because if I value is 4 or 5, if suppose 5, we can I am giving the 4. I value is 4. Let's see how it will work. Okay, let's see what is the value of 4. Initially I value is 4. Okay, it is
Yeah.
coming to the this length, and minus minus I value is 4. Then see the first loop is completing. See the second loop. Second time the I value 4 will going to minus. Okay. Then see the value of I is 3. Now I value of I is 3. Okay.
Yeah.
In value of I value 3 is there. Data is there. Number of I, because the 8 and 7 in between the third and fourth positions, right? third and
Yeah.
fourth position. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the reason it got executed. How many minus? If you do the minus, then initialize value should be greater than -1. Then only it will work. Until 0, it will work. So you can see this loop also executed. You can see this loop also executed. What is the right now? I value is 1. Okay.
Mhm.
Now I value becomes a -1. The loop is going to 0. 0 also executed.
Okay.
Okay. Now I value is going to -1 now. You see right now what is the value I value? -1. But in our index, there is no value with -1 with
Yeah.
index. So now it will go to try to give the exception because in our end is the number of I is there, right? There is
Mhm.
no array, index with this -1 value.
Mhm.
That's the reason it is showing there.
Oh,
Got that right point?
yeah.
Okay.
And also one more doubt.
Yeah.
Why we use the new here?
Where is this one new, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, the array data type, this is the array data type. Okay.
Yeah.
Initially, we can just, this is array data type. We are initialized. But if you
Mm.
trying to assign the value, the same already before that, I'm tell you, right? The conversions, integer to something, something. This
Yeah.
array data types being a similar kind of object, it's required a object to create a one object to assign a value. So that's the reason we create a one kind of instance for this array with the new keyword. Always new keyword support to create a instance. New in the sense the same variable with the help of data type, the new keyword will help. See, you can see, right? The collection of initialization can be simplified with this new keyword. The new keyword, we can assign the value with that. The instance has been created with the new keyword. In upcoming classes, I will explain more detail about new keyword. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, in the classes and interfaces, the services concepts are there, right? This is the
Yeah.
key, playing a key role with the new keyword. Whatever the initialization, everything will behind with this new queue. So explain that one. That's not a big deal. But for a syntactical work, you just keep in mind how the integer or how the arrays is been initialized. This way, we can initialize and utilize that arrays in the for loops and all. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally, I am going to explain the switch case also. So how the switch case will work and what are the switch statements generally being to utilize in our coding. Okay. So let's say I'm just already I had keep in one structure in our use case. Let's just keep copy this one, paste into. Let's see what is the output. Same you switch case and if else if cases are both are similar, but our convenient way. But the looking like the performance, the coding standards, some companies and everyone is looking for the minimizer code, not a maximus code. So that's the reason we can utilize this some kind of format of this. But here the scenario is we have the switch case, switch statement, switch syntax. Switch syntax is always support like you can in the switch cases based on the cases they executed the lines. If you pass this as a one switch is a one method, if you can consider a switch is a one method, if you pass the whatever the variable inside that, based on that variable value, the statement is being executed depends upon the case wise. The case is the day value is 1, then case 1 is executed. The day value is 2, the case 2 is being executed. So once it is got executed, it will suppose the case 2 is the day 1 is started with case 1, case 2, case 3, case 7 up to 11. Once the day 1 is 5, that it is got executed and it will terminate the sentence the execution with the break statement and going to out of the loop. I will execute it and show you. Right now, our program is just 1 to 7, the Sunday, the weekdays, I mean, days, right? I have listed out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. So, how the switch case will work, we can see this. Right now, I'm going to execute and see this result set, how it works. Okay. Side by side. See, it is asking enter a number 1 to 7 to get the corresponding day of the week. Right now in our code, I'm showing that I'm trying to debug and explain you guys how it will work. So right now in the console read line, in the previous classes I told you console read line always take the input of whatever enter input from the console level. So here the day I want to give as a number. So I'm trying to give the number is 3. So here in the 3, I want to see the result set would be the Tuesday. So let's see how it will work. 3. I gave it and enter. Click on enter. So once you can enter, right, the execution will start with this switch case. Okay. Here the day value is 3. So day value is 3. I'm trying to execute line by line how it will work. The first one is directly it is coming under case 3. It is coming under case 3 and executed the console write line of Tuesday. And next level it is going to the break statement. What is the break statement? Why we need the break statement is right. We have a different cases here also, but we don't need to execute these things and all like default and break statement and all these things are not required. But my switch case is directly we have a value is 3, directly 3 value corresponding 3 case is executed and terminated the execution and see the results it is Tuesday. The switch case works like that. This is the syntax directly we can use. Suppose I'm giving the day is 1 to 7, right? And in the 1 to 7, if I give the 7, it will come to Saturday. If I give the 3, the Tuesday came. Right now, I don't want to. Right now, I will execute it one more time. I won't give the 1 to 10, 1 to 7. I will give the different number like 9. Let's see what is the result set we will get. So I'm clicking the enter. Let's see what is the result. I'm executing it. So directly it is going to default. Default means if the number is not existed in these 7 cases, because our number is 9, but the cases having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but there is no 9. That's the reason it is coming under default section and executed this input as invalid input. Please enter the number between 1 and 7, and it is throughout the break loop and coming back to the break loop and terminated the loop and showing this message as invalid input. Please enter the number 1 and 7. This is the way the switch case will execute and terminate the conditions. And hope you people are understand any execution. I mean, any questions on switch statement, please ask. I will answer this because most of the programming sections we use these switch cases. If you are understand all this one, I would like to give one more good example. That's the way we can conclude our class. Any questions on this switch statement? Mohan, do you have any questions on this one? You are understand, I mean, good to understand
Uh,
this one.
Here, day is the data type.
Yeah, day data type is integer. Can see the line number 32. Day is the integer data type, and I'm reading that whatever they enter, right, I'm trying to enter something using the console.readLine method. I'm taking the value. I'm trying to parsing it because Console.readLine always taking a integer. In the initial classes, I explained thoroughly why Console.readLine only read the string value and passing it to a day and switching it here.
Yeah, and yeah, if we write a case statement in that first case, definitely we have. If you take the case, definitely we can put break also afterwards.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, what the problem is, if you remove this break, it will start executing the lines of existed default statement always.
Okay.
Whatever the break, right? Once you break this, the loop is executed out of the loop. If you can
Okay.
see here also similar, for loop also similar. If you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
break out the loop, then it is executed out of the loop. Stop the loop and change the next line. It will stop here. Directly it will stop here because there is no requirement, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If the value is 7, directly it is going to execute the 7 value, and there is no scope to execute these different values
Okay.
like default and other code. So
Okay.
that's the reason break statement will help us to terminate the loop and execute it up to level.
Okay.
Otherwise, the performance decreases because all the code executed, the time being time consumption is increasing. That's the
Okay.
reason the break is terminated the loop.
Okay. For two case statements, we can put one break. It is working.
It should not, it will work, but the code is executed. Suppose I will remove this break statement,
Okay.
it will definitely showing the one error because switch case always expects the break statements.
Okay.
If you remove this one and it will always expect the break statement after that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Thanks. I got
this
it.
is the way. Always in the compile time error, you will get there. But you can keep this one statement, it will work. You can remove the case, it will work. But after the break, you need to give the another case statement like this format only. Otherwise, keep this, remove this one and both cases in one break, it should not work. Instead of that, you just keep this statement inside the case one. It will work, right? No need of case, second case. Unnecessary code, right? Hope everybody understand this statement mostly.
Yeah, it is easy. Here, default, it is the mandatory or it is optional in case statement.
If you are not giving the default, it is not mandatory. It is a, if you are not giving the default value, it will
Okay.
throw the error because it can't able to find the case, right? If
Okay.
suppose I'm giving the 9 value, there is no 9 value in the case statement.
Mhm.
Directly terminated with there is no output you will get, you didn't get it. If you can set the default, it will tell that okay, you are not entering something. This is not between the cases in these cases.
Okay. Okay, Ram. I got it.
Got it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Just I want to give one more example. I have written that this example is completely belongs to like calculator example. How the calculator works. Okay. Get rid of all the things. Already I have placed in one document. So I will provide that notepad and you can place. How the calculator will work with this arithmetic operator. Simple arithmetic operators. Okay. Right now I'm giving this the statement with the calculator. You can see this. The line number, every each and line. Enter the first number. I'm just taking the right line display method. In the double value, I'm trying to give the first number, whatever the number, in the second number. Using this plus, minus, into, and divide by operators, I just want to see the result set, how it will work. If suppose I'm giving the plus operator in console.readline, I'm checking that value will be addition. If I am giving the minus operator in the entry, I am taking the example as a minus difference between the both numbers, number one and number two. Okay. And if suppose multiplication operator, I'm checking the multiplication of these both numbers. Don't confuse this, just a simple calculator how it will work, and divide by error, and we can see this result set, simple program. You can also try in your side just simple program with this logics. See, enter the first number. What I want to try to first number is 10. Okay. Enter the second number. The second number is 20. Okay. Enter the an operator. What operator you want in our calculator if I'm trying to addition 10 plus 20 like that. So I'm trying to execute the plus symbol. Okay. Enter the plus symbol. So then the addition will be showing here 10 plus 20 like this. Same way we can utilize the minus operator, multiplication operator, and divide by operator. Similar kind of practice you can try to do using the switch statement. This is the calculator program. Like I am using simple arithmetic operators. You can utilize different operators also. Some by like by different reasons. But always it is useful for the simple things. Cannot divide here. And we can do the in the case level also we can do if else clauses, for loops. Everything will possible in the switch statement. But the break statement consider in the terminator loop. Any doubts in this program as well?
Yeah, why we use a parse?
Parse, right?
Yeah.
Good question. Yeah. Why we are using it, right?
Yeah.
I'd already told you console.readline always taking a string part. If you enter something, it is always read it as a string.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
You consider it is a string only. Okay.
Oh,
If it is not a string, like I'm giving 9, it will showing error.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm entering the 10 or 12 values, but
Yes.
console.readline always see the you can read it, reads that as a string way, string format, string data type as string. So that's the reason we are parsing this with the double. Already I told you parse, try parse,
Yeah.
this way of conversion we are utilizing and reading the value.
Okay. Okay.
Hope this class is completely data type conversion and loops and everything. That's the reason first initially I started with implicit and explicit data type conversions, and after that I am coming to implicit and explicit. I hope you are not there with the explicit implicit, but just going through the YouTube video, you will get more understand how it will work explicit and implicit conversions. And parse and try parse also I explained before. And coming after the try parse, I am explaining the loops and all. Okay, switch statements as well as. Yeah, this is today's class, guys. Almost any doubts? I think only Mohan is asking some. Vikram is not asking any doubt, and Sairam also not asking. I can't hear you, Vikram. But guys, one more tip today. I just want to give. Tomorrow also is possible. Just before that, you people understand this exercises. So I will provide this link. Just till now, whatever I have covered, right, up to switch statement and loops and arrays, up to here we have plenty of exercises. Just go and see what is that up till now whatever I explained, right? It is saying that created a variable named a my name and assign the value to John to it. You can see what is the way my name is the variable. Assign the value is John. In your mind, what should be there? It is string data type, right? It's John is a string. So the data type is my name is string. So for here, I'm just giving a string data type, my name, and value is John. See this. You don't see the answer until unless you are practicing it. Just submit your answer. Let's see what is the correct or wrong. See, my answer is correct. Okay. It will, once it is corrected, then it is going to next exercise like this. Now the exercise is display the sum of 5 plus 10. We have a variables x and y. He is defined y variable. He is not defined the x variable. So what is the your exercise is you need to do? Just you need to give the integer and x value and 5 plus 10, right? You just provide the 5 and see the value. What is the answer? If you are not able to find the answer, just you can check the answer here as well. You just submit the answer. Let's see it is correct or not. It's correct. The value is correct. So you will get the next exercise. This is the way you can try to do the exercises in your system or mobile everywhere. Just you go and through a mobile also it is available. Just your in your leisure time, just open this one and see do the one kind of exercise. Today's class I have done that data types and operators also I done and strings also done and if else classes done, loops are done, arrays are done. So just in your leisure time, open your mobile and do these classes. Okay, I just pasted you in our WhatsApp group. Do these exercises easy and keep practice. Okay,
Okay, Ram, thanks.
yeah, thanks, thanks everyone.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah, yeah. Bye. ఏమైంది అటపరికి వెళ్తున్నాడు